Thank you so much for joining me here on the Curtis Zone. I'm your host, Dylan J. Curtis, and I thank you for hitting that like and subscribe button for more content here on the Curtis Zone. Ladies and gentlemen, today is going to be a very amazing episode. We have asked ourselves one of the most badass moments of the team from Huntik Secrets and Seekers of the Huntik Foundation. So sit back and relax and enjoy, of course. And of course, enjoy my new poster that's back there of Fantastic Four First Steps. It's pretty cool. I like it. I hope you guys like it too. Today, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. For now, before we get started, as always, news, okay? Some important things I want to share with you guys. The first piece of news from the world of DC, they have announced that the Lantern series has wrapped up its filming process and they're currently in their post-production process. It should be releasing around May of next year. Sometime after between Mortal Kombat and the release of Street Fighter, it will be releasing. I personally cannot wait because I cannot wait to see Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan working together to fight against evil. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to see that? The second piece of news is this. The Paramount has announced that the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover is going to be a streaming series, not a movie, which in my opinion will be a great idea due to the fact that you can explain more when it comes to a television series or a streaming series. When in movies, you gotta go like fast and hard. Third and final piece of news is from the world of Disney. They have announced that Channing Tatum is definitely in the run to play Gambit for the upcoming X-Men project. Who is going to be playing other characters has not been announced yet. However, rumors are circulating that Carl Urban will be taking on the role of Wolverine. However, these are just rumors. Nothing is set in stone. Now let's get started with this episode, ladies and gentlemen, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Basically, I talk about all the very badass moments that they've done throughout the series, using their powers, using their intellect, using skills, anything like that. Okay, let's get started. And remember, like, subscribe, and share, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. A little bit about their powers. They are very powerful magic users. The Huntik Foundation are powerful magic users, but they are also incredibly skilled with their intellect and their puzzle-solving capabilities, which leads me to their first very badass moment, a badass moment done by Locke, one of the main protagonists. You see, he was able to solve a puzzle while hanging upside down from a ceiling to stop himself from getting stabbed by a bunch of spikes. The puzzle consisted of three parts, but it was a very difficult puzzle nonetheless because you had to put it together in a certain sequence in order to open a door and gain the treasure. This was pretty cool, my friends, and I dare anybody to say otherwise. Moving along a little further, we're going to talk about Dante Vale. Here's the thing about Dante Vale. Dante Vale is not only the main character, he's also the most powerful of all the Huntik Foundation, and the most skilled seeker, and the most skilled fighter as well. He took on an entire army of organization troops by himself with a titan in his skills, and he lived to tell the tale about it, my friend. You wonder why that's badass? Because the organization are very powerful and very strong seekers, and they're also very skilled in hand-to-hand combat. But Dante Vale is even better. The next badass one we're going to talk about is when Dante Vale had to prove himself to Sophie Castorwell, and she did so by taking on Sophie Castorwell's bodyguard known as Santiago. Santiago, who is a very skilled martial artist, being trained as a Shaolin monk in karate, kung fu, and in bow staff fighting, but Dante Vale was able to take him down easily. The next badass moment we're going to talk about is when the Huntik Foundation found themselves inside of the temple of Thor, the Norse god, and they found themselves up against a rabid werewolf that was as large as a freaking car. They were able to find something called the rope of Thor, which they used to tie up this giant werewolf and subdue him. I found that amazing because they not only use their skills as fighters, but also their skills as archaeologists and historians and mythologists to find this rope and to use it against this wolf. Whoever says that this wasn't badass is wrong. Going a little bit more into the Thor Temple story arc, they were able to take on the Guardians of Thor. The Guardians of Thor, who were being controlled by the organization, they were able to take on these Guardians and defeat them easily. Dante, Vale, and Zalia were able to defeat them easily. Next, we're going to talk about the time that the Huntik team had been captured by the Amazons in the Temple of the Amazons. At this time, the Huntik team are trying to help Dante save his friend and mentor, and so they go to the Amazons in order to find a special amulet of the Titan of the Body in order to heal him. However, they're captured by the Amazons, and they have to help against the organization Suitswurge, who are being led by Razumov. At the last minute, Zalia Moon returns to the Huntik Foundation, gives Dante the amulet of the Titan of Body, and Dante uses it in order to fight off not only the organization, but also the Amazons as well. This was pretty impressive, my friends, because this shows the teamwork that Dante has with not just with Zalia, but the entire Huntik Foundation. I dare anybody to say otherwise about this. Next, we're going to talk about the time the Huntik team found the Amulet of Will. In this episode, I'm just going to say it, they went into Atlantis. They found Atlantis. Using their skills as archaeology, their money and influence, they found Atlantis, the Lost Empire, where Locke found out that his father went as well. However, during this time, he also found out that he may never find his father, and this really angered him, and he would use his power against the entire organization and defeating Razumov. This was impressive because this shows how powerful the Huntik team really is when they truly put their power to the test. I dare anybody to say otherwise. Not just the heroes can be badass, but also the villains can be badass as well. And in an episode of Huntik Secrets and Seekers, the Professor would go up against the Huntik Foundation himself, and he would use his ring and his magic in order to take control of the entire population of Zimbabwe in order to fight the Huntik Foundation. This is impressive because the entire population of Zimbabwe consists of hundreds of thousands of people, and he did it without breaking a sweat, my friends. The guy is old, and he did it without breaking a sweat. I mean, come on. Who doesn't think that was pretty cool? There's only one more badass moment we're going to talk about, and it goes like this. It is when Locke would use his knowledge, his skills, and everything he learned from Dante Vale in order to not only fight against the organization, but he would also find the Amulet of Spirit. And he would use the Amulet of Spirit to combine with his first Titan and to gain a sword as well. This is amazing because this shows how far Locke came as not only as a character, but also as an apprentice to Dante Vale himself. I thought this was pretty cool. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Curtis Zone, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. As always, remember to hit that like, subscribe, and share button for more content here on the Curtis Zone. If you want to see more of me, my smiling face, and of course more of my bouncing pecs, ladies and gentlemen. We got one more video for Supernatural Month to go through, and then it's back to our regularly scheduled awesomeness. It's down there as you can see it, and I hope that everyone's ready for it because I enjoyed it a lot. So remember to like, share, and subscribe this video if you want more, my friends. And remember, I'm still giving away a copy of Double Dragon Revive this upcoming December after my partnership with GameStop goes. So if you guys want to know how that goes, it goes like this. All you gotta do is get in the comment section down below and tell me what game system you're repping, and then I will contact you very soon if you are the winner. I hope to see you guys soon. Peace.